When people ask what were the most important contributions to understanding that Adam Smith made, it's hard to answer because he made so many insightful observations, it's difficult to assign rank to them. On the very first page of The Wealth of Nations, for example, he foreshadows many of the ideas that underpin modern economics. If one were to pick favourites among his innovative ideas, some have become the most popular and well-known, precisely because they're among the most significant. He observed, for example, that people strive to improve their lot and spoke of the uniform, constant and uninterrupted effort of every man to better his condition. Those words are inscribed around his image on the silver medals the Adam Smith Institute gives to speakers and contributors. In modern times, we'd say every person, because it applies just as much to women as to men. People try to improve their lot by engaging in economic activity. They produce goods and services that others will be willing to pay for, and trade takes place to mutual advantage. When he famously observed, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard to their own interest," he didn't mean they were selfish. He was talking of their legitimate self-interest, their desire to better their condition. It's not done at the expense of others, as selfishness would imply, but by cooperating with them, to their advantage as well as his own. Smith praised that cooperation as the process that enriches us. People like butchers, brewers and bakers can specialise, producing stuff better and cheaper than we could do it ourselves. And because it costs us less to buy from outside the home, it leaves us with more resources to spend on other things. Although some people today praise self-sufficiently as if it were a virtue, Smith was largely against it because it makes people poorer. We could grow grapes on Ben Nevis by means of hot walls and glass houses, as he put it, but we'd be better off buying wine from elsewhere at 1/30th of the price and spending the money saved on other things. This insight of his is one widely overlooked today. A country does not prosper by trying to produce all its own stuff. It prospers by buying things that others do cheaper and better, and concentrating on things it can do itself that add most value. It is true, even if counterintuitive, that it's imports that makes us richer rather than exports. If we buy cheaper from abroad, it leaves us with cash in our pockets. We do exports in order to pay for those imports, but it is the imports that improve our condition. Smith was sceptical of governments, regarding them as without exception the greatest spendthrifts in the society, and that they learned sooner from each other the art of draining money from the pockets of the people. He understood that it was public prodigality and misconduct, rather than private spending, that impoverish nations, while governments, even today, are attracted by grandiose schemes that make political leaders look good. The reality for Smith was they could do best by keeping to some simple rules. We have a quote of Smith's upon our walls to embody this. "Little else is requisite to carry a state to the highest degree of opulence, from the lowest barbarism, but peace, easy taxes, and a tolerable administration of justice." Amen to that.